In the market, those are the tech stocks, and that rotation can be seen because there aren't particularly strong gains over here, just about 1% or so. But if you look at the Dow Jones, then you see a much more robust performance because it was Boeing, it's Caterpillar, it's 3M, it's all the big, it's UT, it's all the big industrials that push that market higher today. Clare, Sebastian is following the markets. Shelly Palmer is looking at the technology side of things. Good to see you both. This rotation, Clare, Sebastian, means what?
Well, the good thing is it's a rotation, not a retreat, Richard. This is not a return to the days of February where we saw people pull out in large scale from the markets. I think what the interesting part is how resilient the Dow overall and the S&P 500 have been throughout the kind of tech, what people are calling an apocalypse that we've seen in the last few days. But people are perhaps going to slightly more boring, dare I say, slightly more vanilla stocks. The likes of 3M, Caterpillar, Boeing were all up today. Even GE was up quite a bit. They're going back into value rather than growth. But I don't think this is going to be a wholesale shift. I think there's just a repositioning going on right now.
Why did tech fall out of favour? I mean, the miss of Netflix wasn't that bad. No. Facebook has been warning for months. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, short of like the old days, walking in front of the steam engine with a red flag, he's been warning about that for months.
Yes.
Why were we all so shocked?
Look, markets get spooked for all kinds of reasons, and Facebook has always held itself out as a growth organization, a growth company. They're going to grow. They're going to grow their users. They're going to grow their monthly active users, and they didn't. They made their revenue numbers. That was great. But all of a sudden, there was a chink in the armor, and I think people were waiting for an opportunity to say, see? And I'm not sure that was a smart thing to do, but that's kind of what it felt like.
Right, so it begs the question, who is the child in the room? Is it the investors and the market and us for sort of expecting, and if you don't get a nice lolly with some nice sprinkles on the top and a flake and whipped cream, then you throw a tantrum?
Depends what you invested for, right? If you invested to play the movement in the stock, then, that's one thing. But if you're going long on Facebook on its fundamentals, they've got 2 billion users, more or less. It's a robust advertising platform. They're probably the best mobile video platform for advertiser friendliness. They're making a ton of money at a good margin. Google, same. Google's one of the few companies in the world, if the internet gets bigger, Google gets bigger. So it's like, you don't have to worry that much. Oh, no one's going to be searching on Google today. It's like, they can't really say that's true.
And there are people out there who are saying that what's going on at the moment, just like we saw with the entire market in February, the correction that we've seen in tech is actually a good thing, because what we saw in the run-up after Cambridge Analytica, Facebook, and the rest of the tech stocks, in lockstep, rocketed back up. Facebook gained about 40% in the months following that. And I think what we're seeing now is a reaction to that reaction as much as it is to the earnings season.
Look, from my perspective, there's been a techlash. There's going to be. Yes, there's been a techlash. And there's going to probably be another one, because people are worried about data privacy. They're worried about cybersecurity. And we haven't really, people are talking about Russian hacking, and they're talking about tampering. Facebook made a big announcement today about taking some pages down. But no one's really felt the effects in a tangible way. And that shoe has to drop, because between now and the midterms, some way, somehow, something is going to happen. We're going to know that, wow, this is what they mean when they say somebody hacked this, and then this will correct, and we're going to have to claw our way back. Or everyone's going to go, no, I believe in it, and it's not going to correct.
But the fascinating part will be whether or not Facebook, for want of a stock, whether it claws itself back as fast as it did back after Cambridge Analytica. Because as you said, I think you said to me earlier on Quest Express, we're only down at the levels of April.
Yeah.
And we're certainly way above the highs of Cambridge Analytica.
And big picture, Richard, this is the third quarter of a midterm year, which, according to Sam Stovall of CFRA, who I spoke to today, is 35% more volatile than any other quarter. So big picture, I think, more volatility across the board.
Let's quickly look at Samsung results.
Sure.
And Samsung phones. Shelley?
I don't think Samsung gets credit for the innovation inside, right? A lot of phones are glass. The iPhone's glass. All the Galaxies are glass. The HTCs. Everybody's making a big glass smartphone. Samsung is doing a good job with battery life. They're doing a good job with screen brightness and camera, the things people inside really care about, but they don't get credit for it. And it's very price sensitive, because you look at two glass phones and you go, these look about the same. They have the same features. And this one is half the price or free. I think Samsung has some headwinds, serious headwinds in that business, and they're gonna, they're fighting back the best way they can. They're an engineering company doing engineering.
We will have Apple in about 15 minutes from now, and that's the one we're going to be watching for.
You bet.
Go and sharpen your pencils to be ready.